Two of Elevate, y'all. Y'all made it.
Okay.
Good job. And of course, Codie, welcome.
I was looking in the mirror. Hey, it's good to see you.
So, official Q&A section. So, for
Cool.
any of us who, I don't think there's many, but if we're not familiar with you, I would also like you to introduce yourself, a little bit about what you do.
Oh, man. That's so weird for me to do, just based on like, I view myself like everyone else. Like I'm still in a space to want to sharpen my tool. I'm a professional performance artist that just so happens to can throw some steps together in choreography realm. I work for Chris Brown. I've worked for Usher, Jason Derulo. I've worked for Justin Timberlake. I've done a few movies, James Brown biopic, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Pitch Perfect 1 and 2. There's a few others. Facts. There's a few others, but that just kind of shows you like the range of kind of like why I spoke to you guys the way that I did today. And in this era of quick draw choreography and fast output, like you were just saying, like I think paying attention to the integrity for why, what the why is still, is kind of what keeps me wanting to be in these spaces and kind of like collaborate and share with y'all. I guess it is. It's so weird to say. I guess this is about me. This is weird. This is weird. This is weird. It's not weird. You're right. It's not weird. You know, facts. I only say that because I make the effort to be modest in a field where arrogance reigns supreme. When my talent speaks over everything. Like I don't have to wear it on my shoulders too crazily because when I walk in a space, I control that space is what I feel. So I don't need any accolade to be that energy for me. I am that energy, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that kind of helped the introduction maybe.
100%.
For sure, for sure.
And quite a CV you have.
Why,
quite
thank
a CV.
you, thank you.
Before I try to come in with also some questions I want to open it up to you guys. So does anyone have any questions specifically for Codie tonight?
Is there like a big difference between back then and now, and what are the pros and the cons of, you know, like the millennial generation and like, sorry, like the newer generation? Because I feel like the newer generation is more like fluid, like a lot of, and back then it was more like pictures, more like holds, and you know, so it's different. So I think now it's more like
There's a fluidity.
yeah, but I think it's a blend now. So yeah, the pros and the cons of
You are right. I did come up under some older school choreographers, creative directors. I came in at the very end of like that era of the picture. Okay. And I started to bleed into like going more so in the collaborative space for classical movement meets commercial movement meets street dance, if that makes sense. When I came into the game, I'm one of the few who brought street party dances in a dominant way into the space. If you think about Swoop, he brought all of this stuff to Mike and Aaliyah and all of them 90s into the early 2000s. But it was just him and like maybe 3 or 4 guys who were able to put it in choreography. But then I was able to do choreography, street dance, while incorporating all of the club dances at the same time and still stuck out with that, where it wasn't really happening in the picture era, where it was kind of like LeBron versus Michael Jordan, if that makes sense. Like Mike is, we do set plays and now we shoot and we come down and do set plays, whereas LeBron's like, nah, I'm going to the rim. You know what I'm saying? So different energy. But as far as going to the nuance of a previous generation toward this era, I do think it is a fusion where the freedom of expression and freestyle has kind of bled into hip hop choreography. I think we're at a middle ground right now where it's not defined, because I came in also at that era where we were wrecking stuff. Like it was like, no, I'm not listening to what y'all are saying. We're gonna do what we wanna do. And I think we've gotten back to that space to where even the foundations are different. We're no longer going to class all the way to learn how to pop, and there is still strong energy in house. There is a more hype around hip hop movement, like actual like bounce and rock movement now. Crump is now a foundation movement that's happening. Light feet is another new foundation. Whereas if you're getting that fluidity, it's based on like an Afro inspired, Caribbean inspired like fusion for hip hop, which is where your choices, and I also think like even with your choices, like it's very much so like internal, and it still hits the same instrumentation just as effectively as it would if we were to go, bah. It's just that the shape is different. I think that with those new training genres, it just kind of shaped itself to being whatever this putty is we have now. I still think we're very early on in establishing how to define what this genre of this generation is. Because you look at someone like Arabi, who's doing this, that's Fosse. He's inspired by that, which is the 70s to 80s.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the study habits have changed for who and what is popular. Now we got Mike. Jazz is strong as it's ever been. Jazz funk is as strong as it's ever been, especially what the movie said. And then now everybody's going down these dolphin dives of him as a youngster, then going through the eras of him before the skin was a little bit lighter, then him when the skin got a little bit lighter in these later albums. What the messages are, I think the definitives behind the whys are changing as well. So I think that all kind of fuses as to what you're witnessing in real time, if that kind of answered your question.
Yeah, it does.
Anyone else?
How did your roots, I don't know where your parents came from or your parents' came from, shape you as a dancer? And how did dance shape you as a person?
Man, that's a great question. All I know is when I did my ancestry, and I did a little more research also, that obviously most of us came from West Africa, but I'm from Georgia. My mother and father were polar opposites. My dad, street kid, like rough texture, loved funk music, loved hip hop, but couldn't play the music in the house because my mom is super spiritual and religious. So she didn't allow a lot of that in the house when I was growing up. But I definitely was in my closet with a radio, like. And then when I was able to afford to pay for it at a young age, I set myself up with a few things. It's where I purchased my own TV and another stereo and got some cassettes and discs and all this CDs and all that stuff. And I started to kind of consume what pop culture was at an early point. And I think watching music videos and just being outside with friends who played sports, and then I was introduced to their sisters who were either cheerleading or dancing. And I kind of caught the bug in symmetric with my dad giving me the ear for how music feels, because he just was about funk. And then it gave me the opportunity in church with my mom to go and play instruments, which was the connectivity to music and instrumentation, as far as like my musicality goes. So at that point, I was released to the wolves at like 12 years old. I moved out when I was about 15 or 16. So I was already gaining independence around 10 to 12. So being able to go to my friend's house and watch what's happening culturally on like an MTV, VH1, BET, all of that stuff, those are the things that kind of shaped me to become a performance artist. How it shaped me was it got me out of the streets as far as like my behaviors with having so much freedom. And not to say my parents didn't guide me, I just did what I wanted to, sadly, in some ways. But I think that why I'm so soft-spoken now and my demeanor is very much so wusa is because of the tidal waves I faced at an early point. It's just like you guys over here, you get to drink at what age? 18, right? It used to be 16, no? Imagine, by the time you're 21, you're done. I don't want to do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of the same thing. And I think that's what kind of helped me realize that if I kept going in one direction, that I wouldn't be able to become successful in anything else that I desired to do if I just kept, but AJ, his roommate at the time, his name was Al Jamal, and a sister of theirs is Jamaica Craft. Those three, they pulled me out of pretty much like the nightlife and pulled me into a studio with their artists. And I was still only able to just freestyle at the time. So that is kind of what tightened me up to be like, hey, look, you got locked up once. We're not gonna get you out again. And I didn't get in trouble like, you got locked up for doing some narcotics, didn't they? No. It wasn't like that. I just was outside at the wrong place, wrong time. And they cared enough to make sure that I recognized what position I was being put in. Whether I understood what it was or not in that time, I just looked at them like, bruh, your skin looks good. You dress nice. You you smell great. I want that at least. I want that base. So being around that type of energy and having that inspiration around me, I think helped shape me to be as like masterful as I feel I'm approaching, because I'm still not there yet. Again, I always want to sharpen my tool. I'm never not going to want to sharpen my tool. I'll get rusty and want to take that rust right on off. We just had this conversation. Yep, we definitely did. I'm right back in here with you. But yeah, those are the two things that kind of like help me shape up a little bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, you've been in the industry for like a pretty good amount of time.
20 years, 20 years, man. Yeah, because I started young. I started at 18. I got my first job at 18, right out of high school. Walked across the stage and was like, peace, I'm out.
That's like, yeah, having the experience you have and having to do so many amazing things. What is something you have learned, like being a commercial dancer, like doing commercial jobs and stuff like that, or something that you always like remind yourself being just a commercial dancer, and then also evolving to more behind the scenes and choreographing and like castings or direction. Yeah, from those two perspectives, what is something you have learned or something you would give onto other like dancers in like industry that are still beginning in their career?
How they can transition from one to the next.
Not necessarily like more in the way of like from the the perspective of being just a dancer. That is one thing, and then the other thing from like doing also the other side of the stuff. Yeah, from what you would give as an advice to the dancers.
It's kind of what I've been suggesting in this conversation overall, is just consistency of wanting to be as sharp as you can always, because that's what they're looking for. Imagine me and you were to get in a studio and we work together and I put you on a job, then how you hold yourself poise-wise, what your dance IQ is telling me that you can hold responsibility-wise in a room is going to help me dictate how I'm going to keep you around me. And also just be cool. Like how we're interacting with each other now, how I'm acting with you, I act like this with everyone. No matter who you are, don't care. You can be Chris. Hey Chris, what's up, bro? You good? Bet it up. Oh, you're not in a good mood? No problem. I'm gonna be like this as much as possible. That is what has carried me into multiple spaces to be respected as a professional and as someone to be taken seriously when I do have an opinion about something in dance, whether it is as simple as that's on a 6. That to me is high dance IQ. Make sure you know as much as the choreographer and more than the choreographer that's in the room. That's the consistency for being a performance artist, in my opinion. Continue to sharpen as much as you can, learn as much as you can on a movement level, and then study just the past. Whether you are doing what we're doing now, which goes into what you were talking about a second ago, or the question you asked, because I understand what happened in the 20s with movement. I love movement that much. I love music that much. I love entertainment that much that I'm willing to sacrifice my weekends or on Sundays like Michael used to do. Every Sunday he would study. He would practice his religion or the spirituality of himself, and then he would just get in the studio and he would lock himself in there. And then he would just study the greats. And I've done the same thing since I've started. And I think the higher power, if you believe in the higher power, God, it's telling you from an early point in your life that this is what you're supposed to be paying attention to, and you got to follow that, my opinion. Mm-hmm. That's what happened to me, hence music videos and just being in a nightclub and getting picked up by people I had no clue who they were. And then over time, I started realizing like, oh shit. Creatively, kind of blend the two, study. To be respected is to be quiet in a room, listen, pick up as much as you can, be as valuable as possible, i.e., if you're in a workspace and they say, okay, we have this new program we want someone to learn, but they don't specify who they want to learn that, take the initiative. Exactamundo, okay? I got it, don't worry about it. Like the next day, I picked these things up for you. I know that you asked, et cetera, et cetera. This is the value that you're looking for. I have that to give you. And voice yourself. Fortune favors the bold, my guy. Mm-hmm. If you want the fortune, be bold to get it. Don't step on anyone to get there, because karma is quite the interesting person to meet. And I don't like talking to her ever. So just know, like, with respect for self and others around you, pick them up, take them with you. If they can't hold on to you, and if they're too heavy, you got to drop them off, then you got to do what you got to do. But at the same token, be respectful about it. And I think that that will help you to stand out more than the person who's pick me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm curious, like at first dance started, I think, as a hobby for you, maybe, and
Low
or how did it?
key, I got
how did it
ADHD,
start?
bro.
Yeah.
ADHD.
When did you like realize or that you wanted to make it professional, like make a profession of it?
I'd never realized it, to be honest. My mom, she owned daycares when I was growing up. Excuse me. I just can remember there was an employee she had because she had me as a manager. I'm 6. Go tell them to make lunch. Okay. But she had this, again, I love music. And she had this music playing with these kids about shapes and about how like machinery works for like toddlers. And this assistant was just watching us and I just started dancing a little bit. Martha, did you know he could do this? And she turned the music on and I start acting out what the song is saying because it's what the song is saying. I'm a washing machine. I start moving like a washing machine, blah, blah, blah. That bled into when I was playing sports, I would get in trouble for dancing during practice. You got laps. Stop doing the moonwalk around the gym. You got laps. So that was another one. So this again is like what I was telling you before, is that the higher power is telling me without telling me clearly. You're supposed to do something with music. You're supposed to have some sort of like movement happening. So I kind of let that take me into like, I don't know if you guys have middle school here, but grades 6 to 8. Those 3 years right there, 2 years, 3 years, I started doing talent shows and going to the radio station to pass out flyers and doing like, you have like block parties. So at block parties, we would have like performances, like this high school is gonna be here and we're gonna raise for their basketball team or some, you know, whatever. I would do as much of that as possible because my mom didn't know what to do with all of my energy. I was just bouncing off the walls all the time. She's like, boy, if you don't go sit down somewhere or stand up and get away from me, like go do something else. Like it didn't feel like she didn't want me to do it or be around. She just was like, okay, I gotta figure out how to like, what is going on? Because I didn't have that much energy. But from that point, I played basketball all the way until I was finishing high school. So my junior year, going into my senior year, that's when I figured out I didn't want to play sports anymore. But I didn't know how to get on TV. I just knew I wanted to be on TV. I was like, I want to do that. I don't know if you get paid for it. I don't know who to talk to, whatever. I'm in North Carolina at the time, so it's a very small city. But people around that space were just so supportive. And they're like, well, he got something. We got to like harness that. We got to keep him out of trouble. And then I moved to Atlanta, got in some trouble. And then I found the people that you voiced at 18, 19 years old. And from 18 to 21, they were just like shaping me to realize that I had a talent in movement. And I was probably only paid like $1,000 over the course of those couple of years because they would give me like $100 here, $200 here. And I was at 18, I ended up sneaking into a few auditions in the city and I booked those jobs. And it was in front of the people that you named and then in front of like Rich and Tone and Chuck Maldonado. And I just kind of was like, okay, now I'm around LA dancers in a smaller city and they don't even know that dance exists in our city besides the commercial dance, not commercial dance, but the street dance is like the snap or crank, which is a dance style authentic to Atlanta, or like walk it out, all those things. And me taking those bits of street dance and club dances into the choreography space is then what made me realize like, oh, I actually think I can make this a consistency and I can pay my rent off of this. I'm about to do this as much as I can during the week to pay my rent 3 times over every month if I can. And I put my nose down into the dirt and just dug and kept digging and I hit that diamond.
When you're training dance consistently for years, at some point, sometimes you either feel like you're stagnating or you're plateauing or you're not progressing. What advice would you have if and when that happens? Is that normal?
It's very normal.
Yeah.
But I do think when you get into those spaces, that is showcasing that you could make an effort more to work on your mindset. And that, to me, overall is what controls the body in its entirety, obviously. But against all other odds or barriers that you have to jump over or run through in the industry, that's something that I think you wake up every day and you get the cloud out. Like you make the clutter disperse, like get rid of it. Because it's gonna be people that do that and then yourself sometimes can do that. I also think finding ways to stay stimulated. I think people plateau when they find comfort in thinking that this one thing is going to make them successful. Dance is the size of a pin top. There's so much more in entertainment that you could do to serve your performance artist, because performance and entertainment is an entire thing. Like, dance is a subgenre. You know what I'm saying? That's just one aspect. Like, if you guys do fashion here, you know what I'm saying? This is a dance performance space, but at the same token, no, it's not. It is so many other things. It's the whole pencil, you know what I'm saying? I would say just the inspiration of finding different things to study on a mental end, and then finding other genres of movement outside of what makes you comfortable and become more uncomfortable. So then that way you keep reinventing yourself. And sometimes it is taking a break to realize that I need to miss this thing to care about it that much. Like, I still love it, I still care about it, but I gotta step away from you so that I can go find myself somewhere else for a second. And burnout is real. Sometimes that stagnancy is not you being stagnant on doing the same thing over and over again. It's really telling you, like, you need to take a second. Something has clicked for you, but you need to take a second and just like look at what it is, and maybe you need to take this puzzle piece here and put it here. Oh, now the puzzle is complete like this for this era. As an individual, a human on this earth, you go through transitions, in my opinion, every 5 to 10 years. I am not the same man I was last week. I'm not gonna be the same dancer every year. There's a new dance style that comes out every year. TikTok has messed that up for everybody. Every 3 months. Life and dance, they're all pants. They're gonna change.
You've shared your CV with us, which is quite big.
Thank
of course,
you.
you've been in the industry for a long time. Are there things you still want to do?
Yes, I think that break that I took helped me to recalibrate how I wanted to approach it, because it is hard to go from having the respect as a performance artist and then having the office for production to say, oh, I respect you as a creative. I gotta get them to believe it. Mostly, in most of the cases where I'm working, yes, they believe it, but there are some other spaces where I'm like, you didn't let me in the door yet. I will kick, excuse my language, I almost cursed. I'll kick that thing open. I will kick that door with my heel all the way through it, just so I can get in there just to have a conversation with you. That's kind of where I am now. So I think for me to be able to run a team of my own without having to share it, and to be able to provide opportunity for whoever is around me, is what my next goal is. And I think education has started that, because my message is not in my steps. It's when you get to do this with me. And I try to incorporate this in the actual 8-count part of the class. And it can get a little bit boring sometimes in spots where it's like, oh, we're supposed to be dancing. Yeah, I'm gonna teach you some 8 counts. We're gonna dance. I'm also a drill sergeant, because I'll give you the same 4 8 counts, and we'll do that the whole class until you get it right. But I don't think y'all aren't getting paid to be in here with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to go that route with you unless I'm trying to be performative. And I don't like to do that because it doesn't make me feel good. And also, I just want to be a high quality human. That's a goal. It's always the goal. Like, I just want to be a high quality human. Like, I want everybody to respect me as I respect them when I walk in a space or when we're sharing a space. And that'll give me whatever I want. That'll give you whatever you want. If that answered your question. For sure.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, do you think, like, for commercial dancers in Europe, like, the best move would be to move to LA? Or would you think, like, you can still, like, arrange as much in Europe as in LA?
There's a possibility to do as much here in Europe. The only reason why I say that, because me going to the London market when I lived there, I got a chance to experience what you all go through. You have a lot more advantages in Europe than we do in the States, as far as the opportunity to create for yourself, in a sense, because there is a system set up everywhere. The system is a lot smaller here, but you have free range to create with government funding. We don't have government funding. He took our money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if I want to go and put a show together, I have to get students to pay me to take that money to invest in the venue that costs $10,000 for 8 hours, which is not enough time because I have to do it for multiple days. I have to find the money to then invest in an opportunity to create an opportunity. Whereas here, they want you guys to create. So imagine, if you want to be a commercial dancer, create the commercial. You have such an opportunity to do so, but it doesn't have to be just here in the Netherlands. You can go to France and do that. You can go to London and do that. You can go to Germany and do those things for the most part. I'm also speaking without experience in that realm, but just based on me being brought out to teach some places, I know that they're getting government funding to run a program for a set amount of time to bring in instructors to do that program. You know what I mean? And then there's companies in London, like, for example, there's a company called Boy Blue. There's another company called Hydrogen. They both are run off of tuition. But in order for them to put on their monthly show or their quarterly show, they go and get government funding to where the person putting on the show makes money. And I think they can pay their dancers just a little bit. I don't depend on an agency. I had an agent for a while. I currently have an agent, but that's just for the name of it in LA. I get all my own work. I take the sacrifice of no sleep. I go out and I research. I go out and I network. And can I ask you a question? What is it in commercial dance that you want to do? Like, as far as a job, like, is it a commercial, a movie? Is it live stage?
Live stage, like performance, just performances in general, like performing for people is like the thing I would want to do the most.
Do you want to do it behind an artist, or would you want to be the main focus?
Behind the artist.
Okay. Do you have any desire to choreograph?
No, not at this time.
Not at this moment.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. So there's an opportunity for you to network in spaces where music is happening. Go to these hole in the walls where you know independent artists are looking for opportunities to perform. Help curate those performances with them. Building that type of community, go to these offices with these agencies, or go to production companies. That's what I started doing when I first got to LA. I'm knocking on the production company's door. You need somebody that can grab you a coffee real quick? Okay, bet, because I want to learn these things from you. Because I knew I wanted to create, like, versus perform at a point. But to dance, like, same thing. I can get your artists together. I can get 2 dancers to do et cetera for you. If there are restaurants who need performers as well, like, you can put a burlesque show or some sort of hip hop show together for performing in front of people. That again goes into higher power and being specific about your requests. So I think taking note of the type of performer you want to be and what opportunities you want and who that may be with creatively, not just the artist, but the creative that is with that artist.
Yeah.
It might be a thing where you have to go to London or France and perform for some of these local artists to get that off, and visit LA to network in those spaces while still putting yourself out on social media. Your generation has it way harder than I did. Like, you guys have social media with lack thereof auditions. And then depends on you being in Europe versus the States, because to my knowledge, you can't get paid to do social media here necessarily. Like, you get paid for brand deals, kinda, but the platform itself is not paying you how it's paying us over there. It's just a machine over there, bro. It's unfair. I think as much research as you can handle, try to figure out what alleyways you can walk down to grab that opportunity for yourself without an agency, because they're doing the same thing you're doing. They got to go network in these offices just like we would. We have casting networks that we have as far as websites in the States as well. Like, we can go on these sites and create our own profiles like a Facebook and say, hey, I'm available to do the commercial that you posted on your bulletin board on this date. Like, you got to put that work in, I think, if it exists here. Because that's what I had to do in LA for a point, which is why I think my career started to blossom in a way, is because I just didn't take no. Yeah. I didn't take anything sitting down. Like, there's no way. I got to eat today. I got to put some clothes on. I got to put socks on my feet, bro. Like, it's about to be cold in 2 months. I got to figure out my winter coat. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I still carry that, like, intensity. That's why I'm out here. Like, I need to be known internationally, not for the clout of it, but for when I'm done with everything, instead of putting a thumbprint on something, I want to go like this to the industry. I want my whole hand to be across the face of the industry. And you get busy, like, that's the easy part, you know? Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe it's a bit of a personal question, but why did you stop for a few years, and then when you stopped, what did you get out of that to get back to it again?
Yeah. So where are you from?
I'm from the Netherlands, but I'm English as
I was
well.
about to say, it's like there's a fusion happening here. I was like, I don't know what happened, but legit. I got burnt out because of the way people treat you in the industry is so interesting.
It's crazy.
It is very crazy. This is not a normal place to exist. People take it for granted as far as like, and this, hopefully this doesn't sound off-putting, and the average person does not do what we're doing. So the average person will never experience the amount of anxiety and stress and pensive tension that we can grab and hold, because it is our job to grab that for the people who are coming to a show and then push positive energy out. Disrespect is a crazy thing in our industry at a very high level, and they will do it and then walk away from you like nothing happened, and then you're left to deal with that. I got burnt out from thinking that friendship, family, and brotherhood and sisterhood were in actuality when it was not. It's business. So I learned that we're not friends. We're just associates.
Yeah.
We're not brothers. I didn't see you at the dinner table last night. Whereas me growing up in the industry from a young age, I'm thinking like, oh, you know what I'm saying? We rehearsing every day. I see you every day. We're going out to eat. You just bought me a pair of sneakers for my birthday. Like my folks didn't do that for me. So yeah, we're friends. Like we're family. We're friends. And I used those terms loosely at the beginning of my career. The tongue is a powerful thing as well. That's why I tell you to be specific about where you want to go, and keep saying that to yourself repeatedly, because it is inevitable to happen for you. But once I realized, after I did my last like big tour as a performance artist, the artist did something to shake my spirit, and it was off-putting, and I didn't like the exchange. And when COVID hit, like right after we got done with the tour, COVID has started kind of happening. Somebody got sick, and I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
I started to kind of talk to people to see where we were, because I had been gone for 2 years already on that tour. So you realize that those relationships were people that weren't reaching out to you to say, what's up? How are you doing? Are you okay? Are you healthy? How's your family doing? They don't care. It's clout. Oh, you're dancing with so-and-so. I want to be close to you because you're dancing with so-and-so. That doesn't feel good, especially when you're in search for a home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So once I realized that I didn't have a base foundation of genuine people, not everyone, but 80% of the people that I was kicking it with in LA, not on no hype LA like BS. It was more like, I'm a recluse. Like, I love to do this. I like to study. I'm at the crib with it. So if I invite you into my home, we have a relationship.
Yeah.
That didn't work out the way I thought it was from, 2012 to 2019 type, you know what I'm saying? But then once I got to London, I got to live an actual life. I got to go sit in a wheat field and just listen to the breeze. Do y'all know Tobias? Y'all know Tobias Elheimer? Mm-hmm. So me and him did a concept video during COVID, and it was in a wheat field. And after we got done shooting, the owners came out and their dog was sniffing around like, y'all not supposed to be in here. And I'm just like sitting in the midst of like the wheat field, and they're packing up the equipment, they're leaving. I said, I'm gonna kick it for a second, because we're not driving, we getting on the train. It's right there, I can see the train, cool. It's still sunlight. It's not doing anything. I'm not gonna get left. So I sat there for probably like an hour, and I just listened. And I said, man, I've never done this. I've been to so many different corners of this earth because of touring and because of job opportunities, that I never took advantage completely outside of the hype lifestyle. Oh, we're going to this restaurant, we're gonna go shop here, exactly, all that stuff. But really like sitting in a park with my headphones on and just watching another person across from me that might be 80 years old feeding pigeons. Like, to get on a train, I could read for 40 minutes to get somewhere and then read on the way home. That's almost 2 hours of literature that make me smarter. Whereas in LA or in the industry, like in the fast pace of things, I got audiobooks, but things stick, go in the ear, come out the other one. I think I just learned more about what quality of life is, what I'm willing to accept, what I'm willing to say yes to and no to. And I missed out on a lot of my family growth, i.e. my cousins, graduating high school, birthdays, me having a birthday and my family celebrating me, not having those opportunities for a long time to now I've said no to work. I've said yes to opportunities, but to my benefit versus just being like, no, I can do it. I can do whatever you want. I can be there on time. I got you. Mom, Dad, it's cool. I'm going to be there. I can't come because, you know, Thanksgiving, we got this parade I'm about to be a part of, but I'm going to be dancing with so-and-so. You get to see me on TV. You don't get to hug me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like those things. I realized I was missing that, and there was a little hole in my heart for it. So I just stopped. And when I reached out to the friends at a time to get support for where my mental was going, because I felt like I was going crazy a little bit because I'm talking to people and they're not connecting with me. You don't miss your family? You don't think this is weird? You don't think how these people are talking to us is crazy? They got me messed up. I almost cussed again. Sorry. Like, you know, it's just like you're also treating me like I'm a kid because I dance. Don't get it messed up. I got a house. I bought my house. I'm the same as you. I run a business also. I'm a business.
Yeah.
I have I have 2 other businesses that run quite smoothly. Try me if you want to. I'm an adult. I got bills to pay too. You know what I'm saying? So having to fight those battles and the battle that you're gonna face and have to take head on is to establish that I want to make this a business for myself. It is hard. It's not easy out here in these entertainment streets, like at all. People say they want to go on tour. It's a bubble in itself. You want to go do a movie? It's a bubble in itself. Once you pop that bubble, that's not your lifestyle anymore. That's theirs. Chris Brown is not, I do kick it at his house, but at the same token, that's not my house. That's not my lifestyle. I'm not driving a Lambo. You know what I'm saying? I might get to sit in the seat, which I've never done in one of his, but other artists, yes, I've sat in some of their cars, but like having those opportunities come up, that's all surface level, like fictitious stuff, which started to not matter to me anymore during the process of the stoppage. So when I got to that place, I said, okay, I'm about to move back to the States because now I'm missing home. I'm away from family at a far distance. I'm across a lake. If anything happens, they can't get to me. I can't get to them. I'm gonna go back. When I go back, I will not approach the industry the way that I used to. I'm still talented. I still have a very like elite energy about me. So when I go into these spaces, it's gonna be by my terms. Example would be, I didn't have an agent during COVID. I let all of them go. So when I got back to LA for the first 3 years, I've only been back in LA 3.5 years now. I said, I don't want an agent. I just got an agent 3 months ago. But I told them, because I worked Chris Brown by myself. I managed that job alone, agency fee and all. So I get paid the daily rate to create, and then they have to pay me on top as my own manager. That's a business move that agencies won't allow. Yeah. So they treat us like cash cows. No, I'm prime steak if that's the case. I'm telling you, okay? To the point where I went into the office and I let them know. I went into 3 offices. 2 offices said no to representing me because I wouldn't give them Chris. I went into it exactly. I said, no, you can't have that job. What are you bringing to the table? I'm not about to bring you $100,000 commission. That's crazy work. Why would I just come into an office and give you free money? You ain't do this. You did nothing. That's what I'm telling you. These agencies are a piece of your business. You don't work for them. They work for you. You're the boss. Do what I asked you to do. File my work, file my paperwork. I'll give you that 10% based on your efforts. You put no effort in, you get no money. I've been managing that job. I've been getting cussed out by people on that job. I deserve that extra, okay? Say that. But yeah, after that, I just came back, and this is why I'm in front of you now. So I was like, I'm gonna take the initiative to just exist where I feel respected and where I'm wanted. Like, I just wanna be wanted. You know what I'm saying? Just want you to want me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. think about this. 850 euro is like $948. Whereas, you know, a weekly rate for a tour will run you at a base level in the States. 28 now is a base, whereas it used to be 15. That's crazy. To go away from home before taxes, after taxes, that 28 turns into 17.
Yeah.
To where now, if you ask for, I can tell you, like, I did a job where I got paid $4,200 a week to go out on a tour, and that $4,200 after tax turned into what I was originally going to ask for, which was like 35. So you kind of have to play the game like that in the States to get what you want. And that's not even based on experience. That's just rates. Like, that's our standard, like, Dancers Alliance and SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah.
Dancers Alliance is different than SAG-AFTRA. Not agency, that union is saying, okay, you have to be protected. You're gonna beat your body up. We work just as hard as NFL players. These NFL players get multi-million-dollar contracts. Yeah. What? They take ballet. So do I. What? That irritates me so much. Where I'm like, bro, you're getting the bench rider for a basketball player gets $500,000 a year. Just give me that. As a dance artist, just give me $500,000 for this job. Because I'm gonna be here with you. Y'all are making $500 million for 6 months of work. If you give me 0.1% of that, I can live for 2 years off of that at minimum. You know what I'm saying? What was the question you just asked me? I just went on a tangent.
I asked the percentage of the agency.
Yes, so it's 10 to 20. So going into what type of agent? Dance agents, 10 to 15, depending. And then you got commercial agency, like for modeling and for actual commercial actors and actresses, they'll take 15 to 20. And it just kind of depends on what genre of entertainment you're gonna go into. But out here, yeah, when I was with agencies in London, tripping. Yeah, that's wild. Imagine you're getting 500 euro. They're taking 20% of 500 euro. I'm sorry, what did you do? Where were you at? What did you do? You sat in an office, you went on a website, you submitted some pictures. I can do that myself. Just do it yourself. That's what I'm telling you. Like, do y'all have websites that you put your photos on and like you submit? That is literally what your agency is doing. That is literally it. And they're taking the piss. Sorry, they are. Sorry, I'm a very honest person. And I said this in the offices to them, and I'll say it again. Don't care. Don't care. Yep, camera, don't care. Do not care. You do not dictate how I live on this earth. They do. I just would advise you to take the control over your career. You go and you do the photo shoots, you pay for them. You go and you put in the work by putting the pictures on that profile, on that website. They don't do that. They don't even fill out your tax paperwork. They send it to you for the job. Hey, they just sent this over. Can you read over this contract and sign it and do this? But then you don't read the contract. Like, did you read my contract? Did you read that in perpetuity? Did you read that they want to take my likeness for 100 years and get money off of it? No, you didn't read that. Because I'm asking you and you said you didn't do it. You don't get 10%. You don't get 20%. 20%? Drake? What? Oh my God. Like, what are we talking about? Like, and this is not me like talking trash. I just want you guys to understand, like, we both are looking at each other. United States, like the States, is looking at Europe because y'all are so much freer in certain aspects, whereas y'all are looking at us the same. Yeah. We looking at each other. What do we do? We should take the control. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to take the control of all of this because it does not exist without us. Yeah. None of oh my God. There was a like, because I'm getting hyped. It's so frustrating. Like, there was a job that I did. It was a tour. We went out and we said, we're going to do the first 3 shows. Once we realize what the effort of the show is, we're going to ask for a raise. And if they don't give it to us, we're not going on stage. We didn't get on stage. The song started. I'm looking on stage. You're doing great. I didn't go up there. Pay me. I should be getting paid $500,000.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? My knees, they don't really hurt, but I'm just saying, like, my knees hurt, my back hurts. You got us dancing on concrete sometimes. You got me dancing, or you're asking me, or you're trying to tell me to dance in shoes that are too small. The shoes aren't broken in yet. I can hurt myself. If I hurt my foot, that is it until my foot is fixed. I have no backup as far as like, what? Y'all don't even have retirement plans for us. We have to do all of those things on our own. Take the reins, get on that website, wake up every morning for 2 hours and just submit yourself. 2 hours is nothing. You watch Instagram and TikTok longer. Just go out there, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. And then you can go on Instagram and look at the companies that you're submitting to and just talk to them directly. Hey, I'm interested in doing PA work just so I can go network on some off time. Go get that extra little bag on the side. I did it for a little while. I was an extra in a couple of TV shows and stuff just because I was like, not that I need to do this. I'm doing it because I need to figure out where else I can network. Because again, dance is this big, acting is this big, being ahead of a department, that's a position. When you get to that point in your career where you don't want to dance, that's what you should be thinking about. This is the door opener. Dance is the door opener to go into spaces where you know that you can control some stuff. Woo. I got to get my pirate together. Sorry. You know, but yeah, I get really passionate about that because I love y'all. Like, I love me. Like, I love us. Like, I love our community. Like, I love dance. Dance as a community. We just need to keep taking care of each other and having these conversations with each other. And when it comes to finance, talk to the people on the jobs that you're on. Oh, I'm getting paid this, da, da, da. Yeah, don't tell them this because, you know, nah, okay, cool. Hey, look, I'm getting paid $1,000 a day. I need you to know that because you're doing the same work I'm doing. If it's a thing where there's a hierarchy of experience, then okay, I can't do anything about it. But we all should have a meeting about this before we go into day 2 of our job. Day 1, what's your rate? What did your agency ask you to get paid? Okay, bet. What did your agency get? Well, my agency said I'm getting paid this. Why are we not getting paid the same thing? We should go talk to management about getting paid the same thing. Are y'all okay with walking out on the job? I am. Because if I'm already doing a waiter job or I'm at a bar doing bartending, then I'm okay with going back to doing that until I get what I want or until I build something and then I get to do what I want. You know what I'm saying? If y'all do need anything, my DMs are available. Hit me and we can keep this conversation going as well. I am an open book. It does take me a second sometimes because during that 3-year break, I decided that social media doesn't matter that much to me and I take breaks. So I might go like 3 weeks without you seeing me. And I always respond. Just know, like, if you need any guidance on that end or if there's something that's going on and you need a little bit of advice or whatever it is, shoot me a voice note, send me a message, and we can keep it kicking. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to do this together. Like, we're in this together. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Ain't even lie, I won't fuck right now. Hands down in shirt.